Barely.
Yeah. That was a really good situational day for us today, including the walkthrough this morning that you guys weren't out here for. We covered, God, we did short yard, we did goal line, we did coming out, we did red zone, we did 3rd and long, we did 2-minute, we did Mayday field goal, we did Hail Mary, we did give yourself up, we did kill, we did clock. Now we had to cover a new situation today because the new rule in college football where if there's under 3 seconds, you can't clock it. So we have to have a play for that. So that was the first time we've ever actually had to practice that. And we practiced that, and I thought they grasped it pretty well. So sometimes when we do that, it slows the practice down, which, I get bored. I've gotten so used to going so fast, but you need to do that because we've got to cover situations, and some of those you just can't cover full speed and get out of it what you need to get out of it. So I thought they were locked in. I thought they concentrated. I thought they understood the situations. You can see the older guys versus the younger guys. You saw in that kind of that walkthrough there at the end when we were working on kill it. Just so much is going on in these young guys' minds that not getting set up the right way. But we got to put them through those exercises so that they start to grasp it. But it's a good work day. Tomorrow we'll come out twice. We'll go at 8:30. We'll go at 6. The 6 o'clock thing will be for tomorrow and for Friday. Okay, not 7. The lights have worked out well for us, but I think if we go any later, it just gets too dark. And in terms of injuries, a lot of guys missed today. We've got just a bunch of concussion-like symptoms on guys, and I don't know why we seem to have these rash of head injuries. I'm not sure how serious all of them are, but we're going to treat them all as if they are very serious. So, Kevin McReynolds missed today because of a head. Powase missed. I think he should be back out in a day or two. Alex Redmond, John Lopez, Ben Wysocki. We actually sent Ian Tobler back home and brought in Ryan Davis. He had a concussion, and then Malcolm. So, I've never seen anything like this. I don't think we're doing anything different than I've ever done in the past. We talked about it last night. It's just something we've got to work through, but we're always going to err on the side of caution. Kyler Scott, hamstring, cramped on the other day, and it's so sore. Daniel Eaton's hip, Phil Rule's ab, Eddie Vanderdoes's back is doing a lot better. Probably, he was begging to get in there today. Kylie wasn't out here today. He just went into like full body cramps last night. He actually was so dehydrated, and they took him in, and he actually gained 8.5 pounds from drinking so much fluid. It was, I don't know how they got, and that wasn't from an IV. That was actually from drinking the fluid. So I'm sure he didn't get much sleep. Probably didn't get a lot of sleep last night.
I think I did 8.5 pounds one night.
Yeah.
We've all done that in our industry.
Yeah, it wasn't Gatorade though, right? Eric Kendricks is doing well, and we're still, like I said, I think we're still on track for him to be ready for Nevada. We'll probably get him out here, or probably get him back on the field when we get back to campus. So. The guy that we're kind of in limbo with, but leaning a certain way, is Johnny Johnson. He sublexed his shoulder. He's got a minor tear in there. It's not unlike Ishmael last year when he played those games, and remember he'd been hurt. And he strapped it down and he started to play, and then it popped out again. I think the 3rd game we had to go and do surgery. I think there's a chance that that's going to happen with Johnny as well. He's a little bit worse than Ish was when we decided with Ish's family to let him play. He's more along the lines of where Ish was when we got in the game. So, unfortunately for us, it comes at a position where we're very light as it is and very young, and he's a really good player, but that's just something that we probably have to get taken care of. So that's disappointing, but it gives someone else a chance to step up and play. I know Johnny's disappointed, and he's going to be a great player here at UCLA. It's just going to be delayed a little bit. So.
How much do the concussions limit the development of the O-line, especially since it seemed like you guys had it set?
Well, we're lucky so far, knock on wood, that it's not the starting group, so they're getting that work. But it's hurting our ability to develop depth, and what happens is that we get low in numbers, so we have to cut back on practice a little bit. We came in here with a really good group of offensive linemen with numbers, and we could practice a certain pace and get good work done. But when you get light at that position, it kind of affects everything you do. So it affects the development of the depth, and it affects our ability to practice the way we like to be able to practice. So we just have to modify it, you know. It seems like we've been dealing with it for a while. Hopefully, and I say this, you know, with pretty much a lot of confidence that none of these guys are too serious. That we got it before it got serious, and we can get them back here, you know, shortly. But once again, we're always going to be safe with the heads.
Coach, I'm doing a story on Craig Lee. Just what have been your initial impressions of him through camp?
He doesn't say a lot. He's really serious about his craft. He's got good burst. He catches the ball well. He looks like a guy that, you know, he didn't get the summer training with us, but I haven't seen that be a real factor. You know, he seems like he's in good shape. He's picking things up. I think like most young backs, the last thing to come is the pass protection, just deciphering who you have to block. But I think he's got a lot of skill, a lot of burst. As he learns the plays better and he understands the blocking combinations up front and, you know, what an odd front is opposed to an even front and linebacker alignments and where that's going to dictate the holes being, I think that you'll see that more of that natural ability start to come out.
How likely is it that he sees the field this year and gets carries?
I don't know. I mean, you know, we've got some pretty decent backs. I think we have to decide that as we go, and I'm not ready to make that decision yet. You know, I want to see him for more than just a week, but you know, I'm certainly glad he's with us. I like him. I think he's got a really bright future at UCLA.
What do you look at that position specifically? Are you waiting for somebody to emerge?
No, you know, I see a number of them emerging and looking like I thought it was going to kind of look right now, which is by committee. You know, now maybe once the season starts, you know, somebody just pops on us. But right now, you know, I feel confident with Jordan James, and I feel confident with Stephen Manfro, and I feel confident with Paul Perkins, and I feel confident with Malcolm Jones. And, you know, I don't know where Damian Thigpen is yet, but I know that I felt very confident about, you know, him as a player before he got injured. And all indications are is he's coming back fine. So I think that, you know, and I'm not knocking Craig out of it. These are the guys that I've seen carry the football in a Pac-12 game. So, you know, I'm okay with that group as it is. I know we'd all like to just say, hey, that's the bell cow, but we're not able to do that yet. Maybe that'll happen as we go, but it's not happening. It's not happening yet. So,
without Ola, without, you know, Eddie playing these last few days, what's been your impressions of the defensive line without them?
Well, I've been impressed with them. You know, I think it's a really good group. I like the three young guys, even though we haven't seen Eddie. You know, Kenny Clark, you know, he's a nose tackle, so it's not like he's going to make these amazing plays. But when you watch the film, I mean, he is so stout in there. He's got great flexibility and great strength, and he plays with pad level. He keeps his hands square, and he's got violence with his hands. Kylie, you know, Kylie's just steady Eddie. You know, he's doing a heck of a job. One of the really bright spots for us, I think, in this camp has been Keenan Graham and the way that he's played in there. You know, he plays with really good pad level, great leverage. He gets under guys. You know, certainly we want to see Eddie in there. You know, we're going to miss Oa, but we got to, you know, we can't keep saying, oh, we're going to miss Oa. We have to move past that. I think it's going to be a good group. You know, Cassius is a really good football player. Lee Epinesa has done a heck of a job. Every day, Ellis does something on tape that you probably won't see out here, where you just go, my goodness, that guy's really 325 pounds or whatever he is. I mean, his quickness down the line. Now, you know, you ask him to chase the ball for 40 yards, he's probably not going to catch it. But it's that short area quickness and strength and power and burst that he's got that's pretty darn impressive. So I'm happy about our front seven. You know, my concerns are probably like all UCLA fans and our coaches is that, you know, how are we going to manage the secondary? You know, how are we going to get that done? Because we have to get it done. So.
Looked like the first day the kickoff specialists were doing their actual kicks. Is there a competition there between Covington and Fairbairn?
Looks like it, yeah. I was really impressed with Kaimi's kicks.
Yeah.
I mean, he had distance and he had hang, and it doesn't look like he's just going to, you know, concede and say, oh, you brought in Sean, okay, he can kick off. You know, it looks to me like Emi is really wants that spot, and you know, we have to see where Sean is. It's the first time I've ever seen him kick off. So I know this is that what we need is consistency at that position. Even if we're not putting it through the end zone like Jeff did, we need consistency. We need hang so we can go cover. All right. Okay.